Okay, off we go. Cursed Hollow. First map. We're already in the semifinals, everybody. The three-legged cat is playing against the Chili Donuts. Still a weird name. I honestly don't know what the story behind it is, but a three-legged cat has been successful in the first tournament. And now they find themselves in the semifinals at least again. So that's a pretty big step. Most people call them the cats right now. I really don't know if I should rename them or just like leave it as is, but either way, we got them going up against the Donuts, who had a very good run today too. Not only did they win both of their earlier rounds, but they did it in pretty convincing fashion. These guys were just absolutely crushing. It was pretty impressive. Now we're finding ourselves in Cursed Hollow, which is the first map here at the second qualifier of the X Cup Winter. So again, the system is as usual. We have 10 qualifiers for the playoffs. Every single qualification tournament that is open. Anybody can play. It doesn't matter if you're a Plastic League, Wood League, or if you're a Grandmaster. You can participate in the tournament. And of course, the farther you go in the tournament, the more points you accumulate for your team. Those points added up to a leaderboard, and at the end of the season, the top 8 make it to the playoffs themselves, where we have 4,000 euros of prize money that are being played out. The entire X Cup series, X Cup Summer, Fall, and now Winter, is sponsored by a private Heroes of the Storm fan, someone that started playing in the early alpha, was a huge fan of HGC and watched the competitions even before HGC and also after, and now wants to give back. Our Mr. X wants to stay anonymous, so we're going to respect that. And just to make this once again clear, because it's always floating around, it's not me. If it was me, you would know. I would tell you, okay? I would definitely just sit there as like, oh yeah, I did that. But no, so our Mr. X wants to stay anonymous, and we're going to respect that wish, but at the same time, big shout out and big thank you at this point, once again. Brightwing is getting played, and we're also seeing Hoggar here. We have Dehaka, Tyrael, and Lucio. Bit of a different approach here for Cursed Hollow. But I like... Tyrael is always a hero that kind of made a comeback whenever there was an offline event in the days of HGC. But right now, we have Tyrael on a map where you have 2 bosses, so that Sanctification can go a really long way here. That said, there is still a chance that you go see Judgment. We had Judgment a couple of times in the past, and it is getting more popular. So you can actually play Judgment these days on Tyrael. Now, doesn't necessarily mean it is going to happen, especially since, as already explained, there's 2 real good spots for Sanctifications. By the way, it's also true for every single battle that happens around the tributes. But yes, we have seen some very aggressive plays with Tyrael lately, and I like it. Greymane and ETC. Okay. Going on some of the picks here, at least a little bit old school. But what do we get from Rutsu and Make? If they didn't pick Lucio here, they could have gone into a backdoor strategy too. That would have actually been kind of funny. But let's go. I want to see what we're going to get for damage. Vala hasn't been banned. Yeah, Lunara, they played her before, so now they're looking her in. Maybe even a Maiev. Maiev wasn't banned, wasn't picked yet either. Rutsu could play her, and there it is. Maiev gets played. And how is Marlo gonna react? Because he has the last pick for the team. They have with Greymane good damage whenever ETC is sliding in particular. But then again, I think you need a little bit more of that front line to contest with what we're seeing here. Because Dehaka, Maiev, and Tyrael, some of them may not be the most hit point heavy champions and heroes, but still, if you have that Sanctification, then you better have some CC to boot. Or, well, Zeratul, okay, can go for a little bit of a trade. Gonna be interesting to see what he picks for his level 10, what kind of build we're gonna see. More of a focus into Cleave with the Void Prison to kind of counteract the Sanctification, or the single target focus with the Might of the Nerazim. Either way, game number 1, this is a best of 3 series. We had the first semi-final of qualifier number 2, so without further ado, let's go everybody. Cursed Hollow. The three-legged cat against the Chili Donuts. Semi-final number 1, Captain Rex on Brightwing, Hornio on Hoggar. Here in Cursed Hollow, we got Marlo on ETC, Unforgiven on Zeratul, Hirath on Greymane, and over to the right side of the map, it's Lauba on Tyrael, Rutsu on Maiev, Make on Lunara, once again, Banana on Lucio, and we have Skork playing Dehaka. And that already answers our first question. Greater Cleave on level 1 for Zeratul, so there's a much better chance now that we're going to see a Void Prison, and as explained earlier, it can kind of counteract the Sanctification a little bit with it. So, as you can tell, a bit of a battle in the mid lane. It's the first thing to break out here. Oh, the drag, the tether, and the kill. Zeratul is dead. And yeah, he's massively complaining to his teammates right now. Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting that Zeratul has that balaclava thing here in front of his mouth, because the thing is, Protoss don't have a mouth. So I'm not quite sure how that is going to work. You know how Protoss complains to his teammates? But yeah, anyways, I have never really understood why exactly he's going to do that. I mean, honestly, it looks like he's aiming for style points or something. But either way, he died first, so it was a really nice control here. First of all, you had the drag from the Haka, and then you had the follow-up from our girl, Maiev. And Urutsu and Maiev, again, what happened earlier, she was actually target banned against him. Urutsu, he has a couple of heroes where he's just insanely strong, and they very, very often in the course of a best of 3 series, they get target banned. But that was also a beautiful one. That was nicely done here. Greymane moving in, quick polybomb from Brightwing, and that's a kill. Easy peasy. Zeratul, talking about him, yeah, he's dead. He's dead. Dead. No. Pop that fountain just in time. Someone just got lucky. Alright, so much for that. Okay. Brightwing coming in and helping out, but they're already suffering damage at the wall. And 4 is on the board now too. Yep, there it is. So with that, we get first of all the Lurker Strain. We also got the Subwoofer. And Lunara is really a pain. So if at any point maybe Zeratul can make a couple of plays further, would be great for them. I'm kind of curious also what ETC is going to take on level 10. They're not that... I mean, there are enough interrupts around, honestly. So some stage dive into the backline is a possibility. I guess with Brightwing already being used, you don't necessarily go for that. But they need to make sure that they're going to get good control over those boss battles too. And ETC is also going for a different style here. On level 1 we have him with the Guitar Hero and then straight into the Speed Metal. So there's that. But yeah, time will tell what they're going to do on level 10. And how ETC also continues his build. For now, he's still trying to do some work in the mid lane. I was hoping for a slide connect, but that didn't happen. So now Marlow is on the retreat. Brightwing helping out a little bit, but Lauber is also starting to approach the battle. So both of the teams are starting to move some of their heroes into the mid lane as the objective. The first one is about to spawn. Still a bit of a fight. Oh, Lauber makes his way out of the battle. There we have it. Still at top lane side, and Marlow gets interrupted. Yeah. Mako, on the other hand, is really playing a dangerous game here. But he's not the only one. There's another Tether Unforgiven. And guess what? Zeratul is what we call in professional circles deep shit. So he goes down. And that is the second time now that Zeratul got crushed. Pretty easy. Okay, can they go for another one? They try, but Hogga pogs out of the fight. Easy. All the way up at the top, Herath and Skok are doing their thing. And yeah. Now, we have outside of the Cleave the Psionic Strength. We have also the Seeker in the Dark. A little bit more of a possibility to latch onto a target, but so far Zeratul hasn't really had the easiest time. Now, on the other hand, he's going for the kill, and he's about to take down Lucio, but Nana H goes down. Killed by Zera, so Unforgiven. He might be forgiven a little bit. At least he got a kill. Has still a lot to do in order to make up for those 2 early deaths, but still. Lauber, ETC wants him, but doesn't get him, and he went into Echo Paddle. That's a pretty good indicator that you might see Stage Dive after all. So if you're gonna try and play a bit side lane ETC, then Echo Paddle is a pretty decent thing to go for. But yeah, we'll see. Because, again, you have options. You definitely have options at this point. If you don't want to put all of your eggs into the mosh pit basket, then you can definitely do that. Yeah, that's the Dragon ETC talking about him. Level 8 on both sides, 2 kills versus 2. Marlow gets another quick HP boost by Brightwing. But it's honestly, that drag was close. It's honestly a lot of damage that especially Maiev is doing. Just look at Rutsu here. 14,000 damage. Top damage in the game. Not only in the team, in the game. And he gets another tether. Rutsu is a bit low. Yeah, Herath on the other hand talking about low. Yeah, that's a kill. Greymane is dead. And now they're playing the 4 versus 5, especially since Make is also joining the battle. Just be careful with his positioning, but you can already see that Hogga is in trouble. And in trouble translates into dead. So Hogga down, kill number 4 for the Donuts, and that gives them level 10, and they immediately start with the disc. That silence is going to wreck him. He's dead again. There's no way for him to survive this. Once that he gets hit by the disc, that silence that was added by Blizzard just a couple of patches ago, that was definitely it. You know, Blizzard looked at the disc and they said, like, you know what, this thing is actually being taken quite a bit, but what we really don't like with Maiev is that people still take Cage. I mean, yes, the disc is chosen quite regularly, so is the Cage, so it's actually pretty balanced, but I think what we're really gonna try and do here is eliminate one of the heroic abilities and make sure that the players never take it. So what could we do? You know what? We buff that talent is already strong, and now disc is of course ridiculous. So powerful, especially against a squishy like Zeratul. And there it is. We get the kill right there. And that is Curse! Stage dive, by the way, has now been taken as already anticipated. So the analysis already earlier pretty much spot on. ETC can now double as a side laner if he wants to. Greymane goes for the throat here. And there's the disc once again. But this time everybody else is already rushing out. Obviously, the Curse is going to do some work, especially since Dehaka at the bot lane is zoning out Brightwing completely. So he's just trying to make sure that the minion wave is going to come into this. And that's, by the way, generally a thing that you can also adopt for your own gameplay. You never have to attack the structures directly. If you know where your opponent is and you're not afraid of it, just push past the structures and let the minions take care of it. You can easily push for keep then. Greymane already down, and that's bad news, because now they are diving way past it. That isolation didn't hit, but they still get the kill. Brightwing is gone. That's a kill. Mid lane, Fort gets attacked up at the top. Marlon ETC, he's saving the Fort for now, but both of the Forts at the top and the bot lane have taken damage, and the one in the mid lane is likely gonna be destroyed. Yes, they're gonna take that down. So the first Curse, I guess it could have been a little bit more, but honestly, it's pretty decent still. They have 5 kill advantage. They have more than a level lead now, which translates directly into a talent advantage for them too. And they have, of course, the top lane in particular, so exposed that at any point they can push in here and just try and take this one down. So, yeah. Bottom of the map. Here's Dehaka already doing his thing. It's one of the reasons, by the way, why we also have ETC with the stage dive. Dehaka on the side lane can in the long run be a problem for you. If they try to run a macro game on you, especially with the lead in structure kills, then yeah, that is going to work real nicely. But as it stands, we have them going for Greymane, I would assume. Yeah, look at that. Maiev is back to business, trying to do her thing. Bot lane Fort, by the way, has been destroyed, so Zeratul was trying to prevent it, but the Haka already did way enough damage. Here's the Shockwave. I'm shocked, and so are you, I know. But they go straight for Hogga, and he is dead. Yeah, this game is not going too well for the three-legged cat. I gotta admit that the Chili Donuts today are really excelling. They had a fantastic first and second round. It's not only the fact that they won their games. They just played clean. They played very clean. And to be absolutely honest, that's not necessarily something that... I mean, it's not as common as you might think given the player names. They definitely struggled in the last season, and in some of the games they were just all over the place, but it seems like they really have found their rhythm. They're also invading the boss down here, and that's bad news for the cat. They had talent behind, Sanctification starting to hit, there's Lucio getting killed, but Maiev comes in a bit too late, and Lauber, he steals it. The boss is taken, Unforgiven is dead too. They're going for more kills. Lauber, yes, he falls. Rutsu might be able to make his way out of this one, and indeed he does. But it doesn't change the fact that there's now a boss moving through the top lane. Another boss and the mercenary camp at the bottom of the map are pushing for it too. So they got a couple of kills finally, but the cat lost both bosses, and that's problematic to say the least. They have to just sit back while those heroes are being revived and re-enter the map and just take the damage. They can be happy that we're only at the 10-minute mark. Just imagine this happening later in the game when those bosses scale even harder than that. So yeah, you gotta be a bit careful here. They get the first tribute though. Marlowe's gonna go for the dance and claims it, but level 16 is gonna be inevitable for the Donuts now. 25,000 damage for Maiev, still top damage in the game. Lunara is starting to catch up with the 23k, but Hogga and Greymane do so as well. And they invade again. They invade again, and as long as the cat doesn't have the level 16 talent, that's a problem. I mean, obviously it's a problem too that the cat only has 3 legs apparently, but yes. In addition to that, it's problematic that they don't have that talent either, because once level 16 is on the other side, that power spike is pretty strong. And that's the main reason why the red team is now able to just steal all these camps away. It's kind of nuts. ETC is 0 deaths, the only one that hasn't fallen yet. So 9 kills to 5, and it is party time. That's a weird spot to jump to. Disc greets ETC, gets disked immediately, and here comes the tether. Didn't quite work out to the holy ground. Did kind of block that a little bit. Yeah, this one they were kind of everywhere. We're trying all the buttons. All the buttons got hammered. Very little success though. Now the good news for the cat is that they are soon gonna have level 16. The bad news is that they lost a lot of ground on the map already. And that tribute that is just now spawning, or has already, that will of course be taken down too. So they have even talents. That's a good first step. Skok is down at in the bot lane. Rayska is down with his Dehaka. A little bit faster than all of those cars and trucks on the I-95. Top side also, Banana and Lauber, they're already going for the next wave. I mean, they're backdooring everything at this point. And pretty much just like sitting at the side and waiting for anybody to double check what's going on here, because Rutsu is just saying like, hey, here I am. Don't you want to kill me? And already Hogga deciding that this is maybe a little bit of a silly idea, that he realizes that Lucio's there. It's like, yeah, well, we won, it would have been fine, but I'm not going to go up against both of them here. So yeah, that's not happening. But the tribute is spawning. This would be the second one for either team, as another camp is taken. And of course, with the Haka as a global, even limiting the vision now that they have bot side, plus the camp and catapults, that bot lane keep could be in trouble. Always depending a little bit on how long this fight at the top lasts for the tribute. Eventually, the blue team will have to fall back, or they're going to take damage at the keep itself, and they can't really afford that. So, yeah, with him being this low in HP right from the get-go, that's a problem too. There's the drag. ETC, he jumped right into that. Bot lane, keep it in mind on the minimap here. And again, if you haven't downloaded the minimap for your own games, I can highly recommend it. Minimap DLC, insanely useful. ETC and Hogga both dead, and well, now this is a bit of a disaster. 3 down, tribute claimed, and now they have to also defend the bot lane pretty quickly, or this is going to be a big, big issue. But yeah, up at the top, they're already pushing for the next one, so they're more or less setting up a 2-pronged attack. But the next point, or the next problem for the blue team is also that level 20 is hitting any second now. The Donuts today, they're on a roll. Call them butter because they're on a roll, baby. They're doing way too well here. Fantastic performance by them. I mean, I don't want to say flawless, but very, very crisp. So, for now, they already got the keep, the first one destroyed. Can easily retreat with a 2-level elite. They have plenty of time to go for the next. And of course, the bigger issue is that we now have also bosses back up on the map, so that makes matters even worse for the cat. But yeah, and there's a tribute, so at this point, that's pretty much everything dropping onto the map. Yeah. But here it is. They go for ETC. They like beef. And that's a burger and a half. Yep. Greymane is also gone. The big bad wolf is eliminated. And it seems that Zeratul is also having a pretty rough day here. He dodges the disc though. But yeah, he's on the run. He's on the run, and you can't outrun Lucio. Nope. So that's a kill. That's a Greymane death. Brightwing is also going to go down. The Fruit Fly eliminated. They're going to go for the 5-man wipe here, boys. And there's nobody to stop them. 5-man team wipe. And with the curse already dropped onto the cat, here comes the push for the core. And that is going to be a game. That's all she wrote. The 3-legged cat, they lose game number 1 against the Chili Donuts at the second qualifier for the X-Cup Winter. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Off we go! Infernal Shrines, our second map in this best of 3 here. Which team moves to the grand final and which one drops down into the 3rd place decider? On the left side we got the 3-legged cat, and on the right side the chili donuts in the lead. So today the donuts, they're going ham. They're going ham. They have no time to waste. They come in and they take no prisoners. They just destroy everything that steps into their path, and it is a little bit crazy. So now that we're in Infernal, it's going to be interesting to see if they can make this a quick 2-0, or if the 3-legged cat is starting a comeback. Now, on Infernal, the first thing that happens is that they ban Falstad. So the birdie is gone. Tracer's gone too. Gotta admit that at least some of the patterns that we're seeing in terms of picks and bans have been a bit different. But on Infernal, I could totally see some kind of Vala composition with Zarya for the donuts if Zarya doesn't get banned. So there's that. We're jumping ahead a little bit. So let's see what they want to try and get rid of. They're getting rid of some of the globals here. And they ban out Marcus Mephisto. Now, the one thing that I just can't fail to notice is that once again, both of the supports apparently are being left... No. Okay, there's the Stukov ban. Fair enough. I was just about to say, it seems like they're going for the same thing, where all of a sudden you have both Stukov and Rega available. We had that in previous games. And then you pretty much say, okay, none of them get banned, so each team takes one. But with Stukov now being eliminated, I mean, he is insane. Stukov is crazy good, and on Infernal Shrines he's even better. So they have a chance of going for Rega now as a first pick. And if they don't, then there's a good chance that the donuts are happily taking over. But there we have him. Rega is in the house. I actually like Rega. Rega was one of my favorite supports back in the day when the game got released, and I played him a lot back then. The Junkrat though for Marke and Johanna. Yeah, the Junkrat pick, always strong. If you have any kind of stun that he can follow up on with his mind, then he's fantastic too. But what are we gonna get rid of Rega? And what is Rutsu gonna play? Is anybody gonna ban Maiev, for example? If Maiev doesn't get banned, then we could technically see another Maiev pick. Diablo and Hogga. Both good picks. Hogga is great on this map, so is Diablo. A lot of stun opportunities. A lot of debris that you can hammer people into. If you play it right, you can nearly one-shot people, so that's that. But yeah. What's the follow-up? What's the ban? Especially what's the ban from the from the blue team. I want to see what the blue team bans out. Because Rutsu is an absolute key player for the donuts. And his hero pool, I mean, he has a pretty big hero pool, but at the same time he has certain heroes that he's very known for and where he's also highly impactful. Interesting enough, they don't want to play Vala, but they ban her out. With Diablo, you could also go for Hanzo. I mean, Hanzo is strong here. Even Meme Strike is strong. Anything that controls the shrine is your friend. I don't think that Zarya makes a lot of sense for Rutsu here, by the way. So if anything, then Maiev might be a decent pick for them. Depends a little bit on what else they're structuring here. But Maiev gets banned and makes a whole lot of sense. And here comes the double pick. For Skog, if he goes for Blaze at the side lane, that would be Blaze, Leo, all good picks that he could easily take here. Urel, if you go Space Goat, you can do that too. 3 fantastic picks no matter what your plan is. But what's the support? And Deckard Cain, and there's Leoric. Ah, Schallsweffer. Unfortunately, in this case, we don't get the General Leoric. And we got Deckard Cain. The old geezer. Stay a while and listen. Okay. Do you realize that Deckard Cain, people just trusted him when he identified shit in Diablo? What if that fucker was lying all the time? Have you ever thought about that? If he was just sitting there as like, King's Axe of Speed. You know, and you thought you believed it, and it turned out it was just some trash item, and you get murdered in the next corner. It's like, I don't even know why we believed him all the time. That guy was clearly lying. Cassia and Dehaka. So we have now a triple frontline for them, and Dehaka adding even more AoE on the Shrine, adding the global and also another CC. It's a solid one. Rutsu, though, yeah, there's the Tiger's pick. Okay, so we got Odin now too. Now, as mentioned, Chili Donuts, they are in the lead. This is a best of 3 series. It could be the last map. Depends a bit on what the cat can pull off here. So yeah, let's check it out. They got a solid lineup. But Infernal Shrines seems so far that the Donuts are nearly unbeatable today. Let's figure out if we're going to get game 3 of it's all over here on Infernal Shrines. 3-legged cat against Chili Donuts. Marlo on Diablo for the blue team. Captain Rex on Rhaegar. We got Horneo on Dehaka. Unforgiven on Cassia. And Hirath is playing Hogger. Whereas Muck is playing Junkrat for the Chili Donuts. We got Banana H on Deckard Kane. Rutsu on Taikes, Skok on Leoric, and Lauba is playing Jojo. Alright. Let's get the show on the road. Yeah, Deckard Kane, that old snowflake over here. I mean, at least he goes for the right color. I've been saying this over and over again. Whatever you do, if you want to ride the snowflakes, hey, be my guest. I don't care. But don't go for the golden snowflake. Guys, yellow snow. Think about it for a second. What is yellow snow? That's not the snow that you want to eat. You don't want to do anything with yellow snow, okay? You just don't. So, yeah. That color makes a lot more sense. That could have been a problem for the Haka, but also Dibbles with another attempt, as everybody goes for the big 5v5 brawl in the middle. Cassia stacking, by the way, so fights like these are fantastic for her. Yeah, Cassia's just sitting there like stack, 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 stack. I think Dino, was he ever overtaken with the stack count? I think we had like someone that took over eventually, but honestly I don't remember who. Either way, if you get past 100 with your stacks, we had some people that made it to 160, 170, then you're dishing out an enormous amount of pain. We have the fealty on the death here on level 1 for our boy Leoric up at the top. I like that skin. Personally, I go for the blue tint whenever I play this one. Ice Giant is always kind of nice. But yeah, Leo was always one of my favorites. He's kind of fun. I don't know. He's like a very relaxing. He's a pretty chill side laner to play. And of course, then back in the day when you could just park your hero at the opponent's core. That was kind of ridiculous. Especially when you had an Abyss on your team. That was kind of funny. But, well, either way, so far, 0 deaths just yet. Not for lack of trying. Chili Donuts have been at the top in the bot lane, busying themselves trying to get a drop on players like Dehaka, for example. Deckard Kane also in this case with a potion of shielding. We got the bigger they are against Diablo. Can chunking down a bit more quickly without any problems. And of course with the first objective popping up in another 30 seconds, we can have a bit of a look of who's taking the first one. Now, normally when Tigers really comes online, it's obviously after level 10. Once that you have your Odin, you are just so much more valuable in a fight on the Shrine, because Odin... Pop your Odin 20 stacks in and you're more or less guaranteed to get the objective. At least you're gonna be very, very close on it. So, yeah, there's that. Deckard Kane already popping out here, prepping for the Shrine, getting a little bit more. Mark is sitting at the bottom. Things have calmed down a bit. Both of the teams are going for their Shaman camp, and both of them should, because the first objective spawns at the bot side. So this is the ideal situation for those Shamans to do some damage. If you can take them a little bit later than your opponent, maybe even defend your opponent's camp beforehand, before you move down, then you're in a great spot. And that's where the Haka comes into play. He's the only global currently on the map, so if he is able to take the Shaman down and then tunnel down, the blue team will have a bit of an advantage up at the top. And it's likely that Skok is going to try and stay here for as long as he possibly can, while everybody else is currently fighting this out right now. So, with that, let's have a look what they can do. Who takes the first one? It's an Arcane Punisher. And I mean, they tinkered around with the balance of all of these Punishers time and time again. But especially if you're a Diablo 3 player or Diablo 2 player, Diablo 3 player that played hardcore, honestly, why would you ever play any other mode in Diablo? Hardcore is where it's at. Like all that softcore bullshit, I mean, screw that. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about there. But when you see those arcane sentries as a hardcore player, you immediately know that you are in trouble. So, yeah, there's that. But anyways, I digress. So, the fight itself, there comes Dehaka. Everybody's here, by the way. including Leo. Dibbles is a bit low, but still went for the push, but it is the red team that wins the first one. So, yeah, let's get that. Oh, that's gonna proc the jump, isn't it? No, it's gonna be a kill. Well, that's good too. Especially since this is the only real main damage dealer, the range damage dealer. So now the bait over the wall is there. Always bait these punishers over the wall. Never get caught in front of the wall and trigger that ability. Guys, please. If you're playing on a lower level, that's the first thing to learn about these maps. Learn how to play the maps, and there we go. It's the main reason why we don't need any new maps. We need the available maps balanced, because even the current mechanics are for some people a little bit difficult to grasp. But this is a good push. Thanks to the kill on Cassia, they open up the entire wall, and they did 50% damage at the fort. It's about as good as it gets for the first one. I mean, not quite fair. We had some teams that were able to, you know, take the entire thing and take the fort down. But this is a very, very solid opportunity and a play that they made there. So, yeah, nicely done. But off we go. So, we got 1 kill to 0. I'm actually a bit surprised that not more people died. But there's another quick move for Cassia, and she finds herself... Cassia was for just a second in a pretty awkward spot, because she was a little bit zoned out and literally between two parts of the team. But thanks to Marlo and Captain Rex being this close, the Donuts just decided it wasn't really worth it. Yeah, they don't want to get eaten alive here, no. Top side, also, that wall opened up. And they have again a level lead in level 10. They are doing really well here. Yeah, they pop it right away. I'm not sure if they can get the kill. Yeah, not likely, but they can definitely try and take that fort. That's one of the cool things if you're so far ahead in experience that you can immediately use your level 10, because you just say by the time that they have level 10, our cooldown is back. And that gives them a top fort. So now they have taken the first fort down. They already did serious damage at the fort at the bot lane. And this is also the lane where now the fountain is gone, and guess what? The next objective is up at the top shrine. So that's problematic. That gives the Donuts right from the get-go an advantage over the next objective, because they still have that fallback option. So that's actually huge. But, well, as you can see, for now in the mid lane, also a bit of an aggressive attempt by the three-legged cat now that they have their own level 10. They went into Valkyrie. So Unforgiven, he gets already trapped here, uses the Valkyrie, and yeah, he wants to hug the people that take him down, I assume. So yeah, Cassia is dead. 2 kills to 0. Second time that she died, by the way. Unforgiven is having a rough time in this series. He was on Zeratul on the first map, and he got murdered early on, and now on Cassia also died twice. Oh, stay a while and get wrecked! Nice move by Deckard Cain. Banana, yeah, he tells stories. I mean, you wouldn't believe it. It's absolutely fantastic. Back in my day, we rode horses. Haha. Elon Musk. Electric cars. 1 horsepower. No kidding. Yeah, that old geezer, honestly. He tells his stories until your ears bleed and you just, please, I kill myself. Just stop talking. For once. Yeah, he silences you easy peasy. So, with Deckard already doing his thing, they go once more for the camp, but again, this time the damage or the impact is going to be a little bit limited, because as you can see, it's a topside shrine. But what I talked about earlier with the fountain is still holding true, so Leo is getting a little bit of work done. And off we go. Ooh, that hurts. The heal didn't go through. Get reset on a small cooldown. The shockwave doesn't hit jack shit, and the mine from Junkrat was absolutely pitch perfect. That's another kill for sure. Hogger, he's not gonna pog out of this one. Yeah, that's a kill. So Hogger is getting pogged, and now we have 4 kills to 0, level 13, and a talent advantage. They're going full on for the drain on the level 13 for Leo as well. And of course, this is going to be a second Punisher that they can take right here. Yeah, that's tricky. That's tricky. By the way, you know when you actually realize that you're getting old? Well, that you're too old? I remember a time when I met girls at parties and they asked me for my mail address and wrote me a letter. I actually found some of those letters when I was at my dad's place last year, and yeah, it's incredible. Mobile phones, text message, voice message, email. What are you talking about? Let us, baby. That's where it's at. Stay a while and get wrecked. Diablo down the rip. Tires to the face. Cassia is gone. And Captain Rex is on the run. Yep, 6 kills to 0. Honestly, the Chili Donuts, they are going through the three-legged cat like hot butter through cheese. They are absolutely crushing it right now. Yeah, it ain't easy being cheesy, but they go for the keep. Yeah, only 9 minutes and 30 seconds in. And here we go. That's a 2-level lead. That's a keep that is about to get destroyed, and they are murdering it. Absolutely murdering it. Leo isn't even here. He's already on his way down to the bottom of the map to wreak even more havoc. And off we go. Yeah, that's bad news. I mean, honestly, for the three-legged cat, coming back from this position is going to be nearly impossible. It's not totally impossible, but you need to get some kills. And so far, this hasn't really happened for them. And they pretty much don't have a window on the 13 talents either, right? So that's the next problem. So, yep. There it is. 6 kills to 0, nearly level 16. And off we go. Let's make... Yeah, look at this. They're already starting to trap them again. They try to go for Leo, and in the meantime, it just turns out it was all a ruse. And again, they abandoned Leo, and they just said, okay, fuck him. That's your kill. That's the first blood. They got a kill, boys. Nicely done. Well done. Well played. Alright, so here comes the Valkyrie and the Drag, and both of them are completely nullified. And Banana H is also controlling the chopper. Look at that! Diablo getting a little bit cheeky today, huh? Hey, he's ambitious. That man, he wants to go for that kill, but he went a bit too deep maybe. So, caution, my friend, or you're gonna be next on the list. So we currently have the bot fort destroyed. There's the next big fight. At least they're trying to. That is the Entomb. It didn't really quite connect as well as they were hoping for. Now Skok himself is actually eating a ton of damage. Ancestral had to be thrown out as well, to be fair. But we still have a couple of ults around, especially for the Haka, but he's in trouble. Barely able to get away, and Rotsu is just crushing him. Machine gun fire straight to the face. He's gone. Leo is also obliterated, activating his trait, and Marlo gets body blocked. Leo is trying... Actually, Diablo might escape. I don't think so. No. Junkrat coming in. Alright, Junkrat is also in trouble. But Marcus survives and Diablo didn't. So at the end of the day, it was a little bit closer than I expected, but they still got the kill. It seems that Hirath also has a bit of a death wish. He needs to be real careful. He was about to commit Sudoku here. And I mean, if you already commit Honorable Subaru, then at least you make it count, you know? So there's that. But yeah, either way. Leo's already back down to the bottom of the map and he just drains Rhaegar. Uh-oh. That could be a kill. Does he have another drain? Oh, baby, that was close. Ja, aber boy, Rhaegar, da ging der Arsch auf Grundeis mal für eine Sekunde. Yeah, well done. It was a nice play from Skok. Again, nothing really that he risked in that situation. Obviously, the blue team still has to play passive because they didn't have 16 at the time. But I gotta say, that could have been way worse. If they lose the support in that spot, then whew, they are in trouble. 16 talents on both sides. Standard build for Rhaegar, by the way, going full into the totem, as you can see. And by now, we got 50,000 damage for Tychus. And the next fight for Unforgiven. But he's not the only one that finds himself in the limelight. Nope. There we go. Another kill. Töre. And down goes Leo. Ghosting around in the middle of the fight. Now, he'll be back soon, obviously. But if they get the second kill here, then that would be the first big victory for the blue team. And yes, they finally pull it off. Old man once again moving in, but again 2 down, so now they have an opportunity to take the first objective. And I do not see a world in which that doesn't happen, unless someone goes absolutely berserk on the side of the donuts. But who would that be? Junkrat? I mean, they just don't have the damage output right now. Once Leo is back, they might have an opportunity, but I don't see it. It's even talents and it's a numbers advantage. And now that Junkrat is gone, that's a problem. So maybe a little bit of momentum. Is that the beginning of the comeback? Are we going to get a comeback here? The Haka is dead, so that's the start for the Donuts to maybe not lose out on the Punisher after all. Tychus is also soon coming back, and this is a little bit problematic, guys. This is an entire camp and a double catapult. We are 14 minutes in. That's not too bad, but the core could technically take a little bit of damage at least. The fight continues, 26 to 22. They try for the kill. He's jumping out. Lauba is gone, but Leo is dead again. Sacrificing himself for the cause. As the catapults are on the core and the shields are starting to go. There's also another catapult moving in as we speak. Yeah, someone has to Hearthstone back, and they need to better make it quick. I mean, the Haka is going to be back soon, but that's 10 seconds where the catapults can still fire. They already lost 10 percentage points, and yes, this is not going to end the game. But at the same time, the farther this drops, the higher your risk of getting backdoored at some point. 70% on the core. Yes, a fort is gone, but that's no, that's not worth it. 66%, they just lost 34 for a fort. They're not gonna get the keep here, are they? There's no way. Instead, Dibbles is getting trapped, goes for the unstoppable, but and he gets out. I mean, some of these really was actually that was Junkrat pretty much saving him. I gotta admit that Diablo is cutting it close. Now the Punisher is doing some solid work here, but of course that keep doesn't fall. But they open the entire wall up, so there's that. But yeah, top side, always a problem now. They're very close to 20. 10 kills to 6. But I gotta give some credit to the blue team. They are really fighting back here. That one victory at the bot lane was pretty important, and they made the best out of it, more or less. Again, I'm still not quite sure if I really agree with the decision to not send anyone back. Yes, if they would have done that, they couldn't have really pushed very hard. But as long as you get the fort at the bot lane, you're Gucci. So now it's still a level advantage for the Donuts. Obviously, they're going to try and end this one with a 2-0. The fort now gone too. And Leo actually went for it. I was actually thinking about it earlier if he would really commit, but yes, he did. He went on level 20 into the Burning Despair. So we don't have the Entomb into the Buried Alive, but instead a little bit more work done by him. 70 stacks in the meantime for Cassia. Just as a bit of a side note, we talked about her stacking earlier today. Skok up at the top is facing off against 4, but at the bottom of the map there's already some pressure. Hogger is sniffing this out. Lauba is sitting right there in the middle. Double checking. Also the bush here. Well done. Doesn't fall for any kind of trap. And the next objective is once again at the top. And you know what that means. One team has a fountain, and the other one doesn't. So that is an advantageous position for the Donuts, even though they won't be able to rely on a talent advantage this time. This time we got the Imprisoned by Light. We got the Farseer's Blessing as well. No Gladiator on 20 for our boy. But this could be the fight. I mean, obviously, if the red team wins this, they very likely end the game. There's no fort, no keep at the top lane any longer, and the core is down to 66%. So obviously, they hold the advantage. For the three-legged cat, this is more or less a do-or-die situation. Make your play at the top, or you run into trouble. But, yeah. There it is. Alright. Off comes the attack, and Diablo is the first one in trouble, but the same goes also for, for Hogger. Now they're all making it out, but that might have been their best chance here. Uh-oh, someone gets caught. So much for making it out, right? He gets, he gets away. If that cleanse wouldn't have happened there, he might have fallen. Yeah, he was fully hit, so that's a problem. But they're still chasing. They're still chasing, and all that they need is a good slow. But here comes the shockwave attempt. They're coming in again, and Diablo is down, and he's not the only one. Hogger has also died, and the party continues as Unforgiven's Cassia is focused down next. Horny O is able to get away. They also dropped Rhaegar, and boy, that is a disaster. Diablo is back. He had the soul stacks, but of course now they're going to go straight for the core. They try to go for Dibbles too. Stagger death against the main tank, and there's just no chance for them any longer. Especially Lauba with his 20 and the cooldown reduction on the Heaven's Fury is obviously fantastic. That's game, and that is the Chili Donuts moving on to the grand final of qualifier number 2 for the X Cup Winter. Nicely done, GG. Well played. Congratulations.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.